So Jiří Procházka just knocked out Khalil Rountree in the third round at UFC 320. I was right about this fight. I predicted Jiří to win. But honestly, the way the fight went about, I sort of did predict that as well, if I'm being honest. So it was a 3-round fight, and I think Khalil probably won the first 2 rounds. But the third round, Jiří just forced that chaos, forced an exchange. Khalil was tired. He was being very sloppy with his technique, as he's known to do. But really noticed a lot of gaping holes in Khalil's game in this fight, and Jiří just sort of took advantage of those and was there come the third round where Khalil was tired, took some of Khalil's best shots in the first 2 rounds, particularly in that first round. I think it was a head kick. Jiří took it, wasn't really wobbled. I think Jiří might have been wobbled once, but recovered well and stayed in the fight and was there come the third round when Khalil was knackered and put it on him and stopped him. Khalil's definitely got some gaping holes in his game in terms of his gas tank just isn't good enough. Now, you've seen his gas tank against Jamahal Hill in a 5-round fight, but that's very different, right? Having a good gas tank when you're controlling the pace doesn't mean you've got a good gas tank. So just because if you're able to, fight comfortably at your pace for 5-6 rounds, that's not impressive. I could do that. And I'm no Khalil Rountree. I could fight at my pace for 5-6 rounds, right? It's when a guy's putting it on you and forcing the pace, how long can you last then? Right? That's how you really know if a fighter's got a good gas tank. Not when you're in control. It's easy to not be tired when you're in control. It's hard to not be tired when you're not in control, right? And that's what we needed to see from Khalil Rountree, and that's what we've never seen in his career. If we're being honest, we've never seen that from him. First round he did well, second round he did a little worse, third round he got stopped. The exact sort of, timeline for a fighter who gets gassed. You start off well, you get worse and worse, and then you get stopped. And that's that. And we saw later on in this fight, with Khalil's boxing, very laboured. He was just throwing arm punches, and that's part of his Muay Thai style. That is kind of what he does. And because they're arm punches, he's able to really swing them round and get a lot of speed and power on them, even though technically they're not, in terms of boxing form, they're not technically correct, right? But when you're tired and you're doing that, those punches are winging in from a mile away, and Jiří's got his hands down, he blocks with his face. You've got no chance of landing clean shots on him. Even if you catch him maybe once, you need to be able to catch him with multiple shots to put Jiří out, right? So yeah, he was doing that. Jiří was seeing it coming, and then he countered him, and then continues to counter him, applied that pressure, would get in the clinch with him, nail him with big shots in the clinch, with knees to the body, elbows to the head, just was putting a beating on Khalil in that third round, if we're being honest, right? And everyone's going to sort of commemorate Khalil for going out on his shield, and I do hear that, like he's a warrior, he does go out on his shield, but come on, bro. You can't be congratulating a guy who just got finished. It's hard, because Jiří's good, man. Jiří's so good, and like I said this to Evan privately, I'm sure I've said it on the podcast as well, that with a guy like Jiří, dude blocks punches with his face. How do you beat him? Unless you're literally Pereira, who, is built like he's a madman, built like a Terminator, and just knocking dudes out. I can knock out anyone because he's so powerful, such a good striker. Unless you're him, how do you beat this guy? Because his footwork seems so unorthodox, so hard to predict. It's hard to shoot on him, and his hands are low. So he can see all these shots coming. So it's hard to land on him too. So how do you beat this guy? And if you do land on him, he wants you to hit him. He blocks punches with his face. That's what this guy does. How do you beat a guy like that? You don't. And like I said, I even said I fancy Khalil against damn near anyone at the lightweight division in a 3-round fight, because you could say he won that first round, maybe won that second round, and then if he didn't get finished in the third, he would have won a decision there, which is crazy. He would have won a decision there, which is crazy. Imagine if Khalil won a decision in that fight. How different the conversation would be right now. You'd be looking at a Poatan rematch with him. In fact, that probably would be his next fight. If he was coming off wins against Jamahal Hill and Jiří, his next fight would probably be Poatan. And that nearly happened. But Jiří landed a big shot on Khalil, and that was that. Excuse me. So yeah, I'd be super curious to know what you guys think of this fight. Again, I was right. W prediction from me. But yeah, be curious to know what you guys think of this fight. Do you think, and what do you think's next for both guys as well? I'll probably make a video about that separately. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth solo side quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.